their print disability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Dasha. Looking first at the Amherst Bee, on the front page, Sorrentinos, to celebrate 50 years of being a Williamsville gathering place, by Bob Kopsik. In 1976, the U.S. president was Gerald Ford, the United States bicentennial was taking place, and locally, Robert DeVita Sr. had a vision for a restaurant that is still at the corner of Main and Mill Streets, Sorrentino's Spaghetti House, which will be celebrating its 50-year anniversary on Friday and Saturday. Their current owners are Mike DeVita and his parents, Robert and Doreen. Mike said he was 13 at the time his father and mother took the helm of Sorrentino's, and added that his siblings Bob, Mary, and Tom were also involved in the restaurant. His parents are now both 92. He said his father, who's also an attorney, had a law office 4 doors down from Sorrentino's. "We were all involved in the beginning," said Mike. Speaking of his father, Mike said, "It was his vision to have a pizzeria, family restaurant, kind of a Cheers-type atmosphere. Our goal was basically to create a family atmosphere, low, reasonable prices, and quality food for people to get together and gather here," he said. Mike, who is a Williamsville East graduate, said the restaurant has been, and is still, blessed to have numerous schools in close proximity to Sorrentino's. "We always had a good relationship with the schools, including sponsoring school events." He also cited patrons who frequent the establishment. "We've built the bar business up and have always had a local clientele." The first 2 years of existence, Sorrentino's didn't have a bar, and he believes that was added in 1978. He said a big boon to the business has been Music on Main, which is held throughout the summer on the front parking lot patio, which was where the original building was located before it burned down in a fire in 1967. He called Music on Main a game changer for business and having live music on the patio. He said Sorrentino's offers quality homemade food. "These are my mother's recipes, which we've used from day one," Mike said, including homemade meatballs, lasagna, pizza dough and sauce, their signature blue cheese, spaghetti sauce, Italian dressing, linguine mix, and more. Sorrentino's is still a family business, with Mike's 3 children, Ryan, Megan, and Caitlin, working at the restaurant at different times throughout the years, with Caitlin still working there on Saturdays. My daughters kind of grew up here, worked here, from the time they were 15 years old. He's been married to his wife, Cheryl, for 38 years. "We've been blessed over the years with a lot of friends we've made." A 50th anniversary party will feature Mike and Mandy performing from 8 to 11 Friday, February 13th, and Mo Porter playing from 7 to 10, well, it's 14th. That's gone by. Hopefully there'll be a lot of family fun with music, he said about the celebration. The Amherst Quilters Guild has a meeting slated for February 26th. The Amherst Quilters Guild will hold its next meeting at 6 p.m. on Thursday, February 26th at the Audubon Library, located at 350 John James Audubon Parkway. The evening begins with a presentation by Linda Hunter on preparing quilts for a quilt show. At 6:30 p.m., program co-chairs Gail Kratt and Patricia Otaki will introduce the Guild's 2026 Year of Inspiration. The upcoming program series will focus on quilt inspiration and design, a range of piecing techniques, creative discussions, and finishing with embellishment and quilting design ideas. Trunk shows to illustrate design and technical concepts are also planned throughout the year, featuring guest speakers, interactive experiences, and member show and share sessions. The meeting will conclude with a show and share segment featuring entries from the 2025 Modern Quilt Challenge, with members selecting their favorite pieces. Non-members are welcome to attend with a $5 donation, which will be applied toward annual membership upon joining. Annual membership is $40. More information is available at amherstquiltersguild.org, and photos from past programs and member projects can be found on the Guild's Facebook page. Taking a look at the police blotter, on Sunday, January 25th, Amherst police were on the scene at Main Street Hotel for the report of a person passed out in a vehicle. The vehicle was cold to the touch. Officers were able to awaken the driver, and further investigation revealed he possessed cocaine. A 61-year-old male from New Jersey was charged. Authorities responded to an area residence with the report of a 14-year-old boy that was mauled by a Rottweiler. The victim sustained a bite to his scalp, face, arm, and back. His mother was also bitten when she saved her son. EMTs from Twin City Ambulance provided care and transported the boy to ECMC, where plastic surgery was performed to repair his scalp. The dog was later seized by APD Animal Control and officers of the SPCA. There was a report of a car in a front lawn in a snowbank on Mill Street. Officers spoke with the driver, who subsequently urinated and defecated on himself. After failing field sobriety tests, the 59-year-old male from Williamsville was arrested. After processing and due to his level of intoxication, the subject was taken to ECMC. 2 holding rooms, the booking area, and 1 patrol vehicle were temporarily taken out of service to address contamination from the fecal matter. On Wednesday, January 28th, an Amherst police officer stopped a vehicle for a vehicle and traffic law violation. Investigation revealed the driver was in possession of cocaine. A 32-year-old male from Buffalo was arrested. Police responded to a Snyder residence after a victim was robbed during an exchange of a laptop computer that was listed on social media for sale. The victim reported the buyer pulled up in a car. Passenger asked to see the computer. After a few seconds, the driver pulled away with the victim trying to hold on to the computer and car. The victim fell from the car and sustained injuries. Detectives are attempting to track down the vehicle involved. As a reminder, there is an internet exchange safe zone in the parking lot of the Amherst Police Headquarters. Friday, January 30th, the owner of a residence reported to Amherst Police that she located a firearm in the home after it was rented out as an Airbnb. Officers seized the loaded sawed-off shotgun and returned it to headquarters. Detectives are following up to determine who rented the house and also reviewing doorbell footage and processing the shotgun for fingerprints. On Saturday, January 31st, a caller reported he observed a hit-and-run accident in Cheektowaga in the area of Main Street and South Union Road and followed the vehicle into Amherst. He lost sight of the vehicle, but an officer located it traveling at a high rate of speed after running a red light. The vehicle hit a snowbank, ran a second red light, and then struck another vehicle. After failing field sobriety tests, the 31-year-old male from Amherst was arrested. Looking at the youth and recreation news, 2026 resident ID cards are available for purchase. Cost is $8 before May 18th of this year. A valid Town of Amherst resident photo ID card is needed to register for programs, including summer, recess day camps, and after-school childcare programs, and to receive resident discounts for open skate sessions. Resident ID cards also allow unlimited free use of the Clearfield and North Forest pools during the summer months. ID cards are valid for 1 calendar year. To obtain an ID card, you need proof of residency and a new photo taken at the time of ID card's registration is required. Proof of residency for adults includes a valid driver's license or non-driver ID. For children, the birth certificate or a 2025 ID card. Photo ID cards are sold during Amherst Youth and Recreation office hours at the Northtowns Center at Amherst, 1615 Amherst Manor Drive in Williamsville. There is a program called Superheroes Galore for ages 5 through 9 at 4 to 5 p.m. on Mondays through March 2nd. At the Northwest Amherst Community Center, Creative Cove and Gym. Create your own hero identity, design capes and gadgets, train in obstacle courses, battle silly villains, and explore the world of space, science, and real-life heroes. Every week brings new adventures, crafts, and games, ending with a super-powered celebration. $30 with valid resident ID, $55 for non-residents. You can sign up online at amherstyouth.org. There is going to be, hang on a sec, a pre-concert percussion jam followed by music used in films by classical composers. Oh, I'm sorry, that was February 15th. It is over by now. Hold on a sec. Okay, you still have a chance to see Making God Laugh, a family comedy that takes place in 4 scenes, each 10 years apart, set at various holidays, starting in 1980. Performances will be at 7:30 p.m. on February 20th, 21st, and 3 p.m. February 22nd at the Village Meeting House, 5658 Main Street in Williamsville. Tickets are $25 for general, $22 seniors and students. You can purchase tickets at rockinghorse.booktix.com. The Martha Spencer Duo will perform at 7 p.m. Thursday, February 26th at the Village Meeting House, 5658 Main Street in Williamsville. Martha Spencer is a singer-songwriter, mountain musician, and dancer from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Lucas Pasley is a songwriter and award-winning fiddler and banjoist from the mountains of North Carolina. Marty Peters and the Lowbridges will open for a concert on April 9th, and a new opener for the show will be announced. Tickets are available at the door for $20 general admission, $15 members, $10 students. www.buffalofolkmusic.org. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 11 and a half minutes after the hour, and we look now at the Clarence Bee. The Clarence Center Fire Department has received artwork honoring Flight 3407 response. In observance of the anniversary of the crash of Colgan Air Flight 3407, Clarence Center resident and award-winning artist Kelsey Merkel has donated an original artwork to the Clarence Center Fire Department in honor of the firefighters and first responders who responded to the February 12, 2009 disaster. The artwork, titled Courage Arrives First, was formally accepted by the fire chief, Paul Herberger, fire company president, Dennis Rackett, and Dave Case, who served as fire chief during the Flight 3407 response and led the department during the incident. The donation recognizes the role of local firefighters and first responders who are among those dispatched following the crash, which had a lasting impact on the Clarence Center community. According to Merkel, the piece was created as a tribute to the service and commitment demonstrated by emergency responders during Flight 3407 response. "This piece is my way of saying thank you," Merkel said. "Clarence Center is where I grew up, and the courage shown by these firefighters during Flight 3407 is something that should always be remembered and honored." Merkel is an accomplished artist whose work has been exhibited nationally. She maintains strong ties to Clarence Center and said the community continues to influence her work. Herberger said the artwork will serve as a permanent reminder of the department's mission and the events of February 12, 2009. "This piece captures the spirit of our firefighters and the reality of what it means to respond when others need help the most," Herberger said. "We are honored to receive it and grateful to Kelsey for preserving this memory through her art." The Clarence Center Fire Department plans to display Courage Arrives First in a prominent location at the fire hall so that members of the department and visitors can view the tribute. On Saturday, February 21st, Tail Waggin' Tutors Therapy Dog Program will be at the library, 10:30 a.m. to noon. Children are invited to practice reading aloud to Oakley, a certified therapy dog, in a relaxed, supportive setting. Book Babies will meet Friday, February 27th. Registration opens on February 13th. Librarian Anna leads a baby story time featuring bouncing, singing, reading, bubbles, and sensory play for caregivers and children up to 18 months old. Space is limited, so call the Clarence Public Library to register. No children over 18 months may attend for safety reasons. Applications are being accepted for Jim Smith Memorial Scholarships. They're being accepted by the Erie County Extension Foundation for the Jim Smith Memorial Scholarships. Smith was an avid supporter of 4-H youth programs and 4-H livestock auctions at the Erie County Fair. Scholarships are available to 4-H or FFA graduating seniors to further their educational needs at college, technical, or vocational schools. Several scholarships are expected to be awarded. The deadline for submitting scholarship applications is April 2nd. The Erie County Extension Foundation will hold its annual golf outing Saturday, July 25th at Chestnut Hill Country Club, 1330 Broadway, Darien Center. Proceeds benefit the Jim Smith Memorial Scholarships. Openings for the golf outing are available. Scholarship applications and golf outing registration and information are available on the foundation website at eriecoef.org. Contact Rick Barber with any questions about the golf outing at 716-462-3806. The town of Newstead will soon have a new 32,000 square foot community center designed to serve residents of all ages and act as a designated emergency warming shelter during severe weather events. The facility will replace the town's current shared community space and provide expanded opportunities for recreational, educational, and social programs. The center will feature a flexible senior center, multi-purpose rooms, classrooms, fitness and recreation areas, and a gymnasium. The town of Newstead has outgrown its existing facilities, and while that's a good problem to have, this new center will provide residents with the space they need without placing an added burden on taxpayers, said Congressman Nick Langworthy. From seniors and families to emergency preparedness, this facility will benefit the entire community, and we're excited to see it come to life. Newstead Town Supervisor Dawn Izadorczak expressed her gratitude for federal support that will make the project possible. This new center will be a tremendous asset for our community, bringing residents of all ages together. We can't wait to break ground and see this vision become a reality, she said. Currently, the town's senior center serves more than 880 members out of a shared facility with the Newstead Fire Department under a lease set to expire in 2030. Local youth programs serve over 350 participants annually, but lack sufficient space for growth in year-round programming. The project is funded through Community Project Funding, a federal program that allows members of Congress to direct resources toward local priorities. Langworthy has helped secure more than $20 million in federal investments for projects across New York's 23rd Congressional District. Research Day at the Grosvenor Room, Central Library with the Polish Genealogical Society of New York State will be held from 1 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, March 21st at 1 Lafayette Square, Buffalo. Registration is required as seating is limited, and it can be done online. pgsny-becl-the-becl-pgsnys/. In senior news, the RSVP Volunteer Program Information Session will happen on Tuesday, February 24th from 1 to 2 p.m. Staff from the Erie County Department of Aging will discuss the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, which connects adults 55 and older with volunteer opportunities throughout Erie County. Attendees will receive a treat and a small gift. Free. Sign up in the office. 17 Clarence students take seats in the 2026 Greater Buffalo Youth Orchestra by Emma McElligott. 17 students from Clarence Central School District are participating in the 2026 Greater Buffalo Youth Orchestra, a full symphony ensemble of approximately 90 students from our school districts around Western New York. The orchestra strives to give young musicians the opportunity to perform challenging orchestral repertoire, gain experience in a large-scale symphonic setting, and collaborate with professional musicians. GBYO is an honor, said music director Lou Vitello. Students have to audition every year in June, and we have some very strong musicians from across the region, from Niagara County to Chautauqua County. The auditions are blind, so an 8th grader can even beat out a senior if they're talented. It's a really good environment for serious musicians. The Clarence students who will attend: first violin, Rose Reed, Clarence Middle School; Jenna Paradowski, Clarence Middle School; Clarence High School. Second violin, Zachary Wentland, Gavin Gowron, Clarence High School. Viola, Aurora Sandner, Addison Amico, Clarence High School. Cello, Regina Moon, Martin Ieda, Clarence High School. Bass, Owen Oleksenko, Clarence High School. Oboe, Katie Johnson, Clarence High School. French horn, Aaron Ostrov. Callum Lagowski, Noah Munn, Clarence High School. Trombone, Dominic Annunziato. Daniel Hipschweiler, Clarence High School. Percussion, Owen Zdrozewski, Benjamin Harith, Clarence High School. The orchestra rehearses once a week on Monday evenings throughout the academic year. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 20 minutes after the hour. Looking now at the Cheektowaga Bee. On the front page, newly elected Democrats introduce resolution amid local ICE enforcement debate by Michael Palsy. Another round of protests surrounding the Cheektowaga Police Department's alleged collaboration with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, resurfaced at the town board meeting on Tuesday, February 10th, as Democratic Council members Stephen Mawicki, Monica Elderkin, and Tiffany Lewis introduced a resolution in an attempt to address the ongoing dispute. The resolution, 2026/92, seeks to prohibit police officers from enforcing civil immigration status except when required by a judicial warrant, court order, or verified criminal warrant. The measure would also bar the town from authorizing, funding, or permitting the use of town personnel, resources, facilities, equipment, or information to assist in civil immigration enforcement actions, including those initiated or requested by ICE, unless mandated by law or deemed necessary for public safety. The resolution further states that the department must act in accordance with the New York law and existing CPD policy. Elderkin said she met with CPD Chief Brian Coons to ask if he had a problem with anything in the resolution. According to Elderkin, Coons said no. I think everything in this resolution is reaffirming policy that's good and making it clear we're not enforcing civil immigration. Some of the anti-ICE protesters who've attended recent board meetings to voice their frustrations were present again, urging the board to pass the resolution. However, some residents voiced opposition to the member, including Dan Collender, who ran as an independent candidate in the November election. I don't want to know why anybody on this board or even sitting in this room would want criminals here that are illegally to stay in our country, he said. Anthony Filipski, a former council member and retired Cheektowaga police officer, also pushed back on the proposal. He disputed claims that the Cheektowaga Police Department collaborates with ICE to locate undocumented immigrants, echoing statements made by current department officials. The Cheektowaga police do not ever go out searching for immigrants, he said. It's never happened. Filipski said also that undocumented immigrants who are arrested are prosecuted by Erie County District Attorney's Office, led by Democrat Michael Keene. He further noted that the CPD is accredited by New York State. Who runs the majority of New York State? Democrats, he said. Filipski later stated that Renee Good and Alex Pretty would still be alive if the local police department in Minnesota would have done their jobs and come out and did crowd control. Cheektowaga resident Gary Borick disagreed with Filipski, stating that Good and Pretty were murdered and not because of the Minneapolis police. This resolution isn't directed at our police officers, he said. This resolution simply says we need to abide by New York State law. Most of the speakers who addressed the alleged collaboration at Tuesday's meeting spoke out against ICE. Many have regularly attended recent board meetings to voice the same concerns. According to town officials, the clerk's office received 10 emails opposing ICE involvement, compared with 2 expressing support for the federal agency leading up to Tuesday's meeting. Nowicki said research shows time and again that limited cooperation policies do not increase crime in communities, adding that they actually improve public safety by helping to build trust in the community by allowing people to engage and work with local authorities. He emphasized that town staff, buildings, and equipment are meant to support local priorities. Local tax dollars are not meant to fund federal operations like immigration enforcement, he added. Nowicki also stated that local governments are not required to enforce federal and civil immigration laws. He also affirmed the resolution does not stop the CPD from enforcing federal law or working with federal authorities when public safety is involved. Nothing in this resolution comments on CPD officers, their conduct, or their performance. This resolution is in no way a judgment of our police department. Nowicki said he wants the resolution to pass because it's the board's responsibility to protect town residents and the town's financial well-being, expressing fears that the town could get sued for enforcing federal immigration law. What we want to do is to affirm and reaffirm what the Cheektowaga Police Department has already put in place, said Lewis, adding that the CPD is already doing a phenomenal job and the resolution will prevent them from having their hands tied. Democratic Council member Brian Pilarski said that although he is anti-ICE, adding that he agrees with Boric the good and pretty were murdered, his issue with the resolution is that the board should look into creating a police advisory board or something similar first, an idea raised earlier in the meeting by one of the anti-ICE speakers. Pilarski said the resolution doesn't enact a policy, as it acts more as a reaffirmation, but warned that if the board decides to write policy for the town's police department, it could create a slippery slope. Pilarski said the resolution does not enact a policy, as it acts more as a reaffirmation, but warned that if the board decides to write policy for the town's police department, it could create a slippery slope. Pilarski also said the town is not using resources to enforce immigration and noted that the U.S. Border Patrol assists the police department with crimes, such as mall fights. When we stop working with other law enforcement agencies, those law enforcement agencies are going to stop working with us. Republican Council members Vernon Thompson and Barbara Bukowski both said more discussion is needed before moving forward. Our police officers are not going around rounding people up, said Thompson. He also criticized a portion of the resolution stating that, quote, officers shall not enforce civil immigration status except where required by a judicial warrant, court order, or verified criminal warrant, unquote. Thompson argued that if someone is in the country illegally, records of that person's past may not be available, meaning they could have committed a crime that authorities don't know about. However, Thompson did reaffirm and state he's not in favor of federal agents murdering people. Bukowski made a motion to table the resolution, which was seconded by Pilarski. And youth and recreation news. Coaches will teach participants the rules and skills of youth volleyball through an hour of drills and scrimmages from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Thursdays, April 2nd to May 28th at the Alexander Community Center Gymnasium. This program is for ages 10 to 13. The resident fee is $50, non-residents $62. Start Smart Soccer. This program for ages 3 to 5 prepares children for organized soccer in a fun environment without the threat of competition or the fear of getting hurt. All participants are expected to be accompanied by a parent, as this class is parent and child interactive. It will be held on Tuesdays from May 5th to June 16th at the Town Park soccer fields or inside the Recreation Center. The resident fee is $79 and non-residents $94. Participants will receive a Start Smart Soccer kit, which includes a soccer ball, shin guards, and 4 cones. Participants will need to wear sneakers or spikes and comfortable athletic attire. They should also bring water. On Thursday, February 25th, seniors can come to an orientation to hear about what the Senior Center offers, give suggestions on what more they'd like to see at the center, get a tour of the building, and the answers to all their questions. Call the center's office at 716-686-3930 to sign up for the orientation. Even if attendees have been coming to the center for a while, the orientation is a great way to learn more about what it offers. To finish up in Cheektowaga, we look at who is being honored with the TAC, Teachers Association of Cheektowaga Sloan Awards, to show exemplary talent, achievement, and character. They will be recognized at a celebration on Wednesday, June 3rd at John F. Kennedy Senior High School. The people being recognized are Maverick Mocktel, a kindergarten student at Theodore Roosevelt Elementary, selected by teacher Caitlin Smith. Evelyn Fiorella, a first grader at Theodore Roosevelt Elementary, selected by teacher Alyssa Dixon. Mutassim Labib, a fifth grader at Woodrow Wilson Elementary School, nominated by Michelle Strutzik. Umar Hussain, a seventh grader at John F. Kennedy Middle School, nominated by the school's seventh grade team. Sawyer Dunphy Higgins, an eighth grader at John F. Kennedy Middle School, nominated by the school's eighth grade team. Saila Zaman, a ninth grader at John F. Kennedy High School, nominated by teacher Anthony Krupski. And Grace Craig, an 11th grader at John F. Kennedy High School, nominated by teacher Sarah DeRosa. You are listening to Around Our Area at the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 30 minutes after the hour. Turning now to the Kenton Beat. The North Tonawanda City flag is now available for purchase. Residents can now purchase the official City of North Tonawanda flag, following its unveiling earlier this year. The updated flag, officially revealed on July 8, 2025, was developed through a community-led effort to refresh the city's symbol while honoring its history and future. The design was created by North Tonawanda native Jeremy Sniateki and reflects the city's heritage and character. Flags are printed and sewn in Buffalo, New York, and made in the USA, and are produced with high-quality polyester suitable for outdoor display. Flags are available by pre-order with processing times estimated at 8 to 10 business days. Purchases can be made through Ace Flag. Go to aceflag.com. The Riviera Theater will be screening a silent movie. The West Her Riviera Theater will mark its approaching 100th anniversary with a free screening of Upstage from 1926, the silent film that premiered on the theater's opening night nearly a century ago. The event takes place at 2 p.m. on Sunday, March 22nd, at the historic venue at 67 Webster Street in North Tonawanda. The screening will feature live accompaniment by local organist Bruce Woody on the theater's original Mighty Wurlitzer theater organ. General seating opens at 1:30 p.m. No tickets are required. Donations are welcome. Upstage, running 1 hour and 16 minutes, follows a small-town girl whose vaudeville ambitions collide with the realities of talent, ambition, and show business. More information is available at the Riviera Theater's website. The free Ready Erie app is available to residents of the county. Through this app, residents can receive critical information and emergency alerts through push notifications. Locate Erie County's emergency shelters and view up-to-date evacuation route maps. The app can be downloaded at www.erie.gov/ReadyErie. It works with both iPhone and Android electronics. The Kenmore Village Improvement Society, KVIS, is now accepting applications for its 2026 Scholarship Awards. Scholarships are available to college-age students from the Kenmore and Town of Tonawanda area who plan to attend a college, university, trade school, or apprenticeship program. Students under the age of 22 who have accepted or are prepared to accept admission to an accredited program are encouraged to apply. One application is required, and applicants will be considered for all scholarships for which they are eligible. Scholarships offered through KVIS include the Jeffrey Rutowski Memorial Scholarship, the Kim Tippett Memorial Scholarship, the John and Betty Hulley Trades Scholarship, and the Ann Moot Music Scholarship. These scholarships support students pursuing education in science and health-related fields, writing and journalism, the skilled trades, and music. The application deadline is April 30th. Applications and full scholarship details are available at www.villageofkenmore.com/scholarships.html. Applicants are asked to submit their applications online at the link above or mail completed applications to KVIS, 16 Warren Avenue, Kenmore, New York, 14217. The KVIS is a group of volunteers celebrating 18 years of serving the community. We strive to help make our neck of the woods as good as possible in as many ways as needed. Membership to the KVIS is free and open to all people living anywhere who care about Kenmore. For more information, contact KVIS President Melissa Foster at mail@villageofkenmore.com. Bank on Buffalo announces 2026 scholarship program for high school seniors. Bank on Buffalo has announced that its annual scholarship program for high school seniors is now underway for 2026. Funding is available for students who plan to continue their education in a business-related field. Bank on Buffalo will award up to 5 scholarships, with one winner per eligible high school in the amount of $1,000 each. Currently, a high school senior, to be eligible, intend to further their education at an accredited college or university with a business-related major or degree program. You plan to attend a high school. No, you do attend a high school located within the Bank on Buffalo market area, and you could be a dependent of Bank on Buffalo directors or officers. No, they're not eligible to participate in the program. You write an essay, the theme of which is to discuss a business leader you admire and explain how their leadership style inspires your own vision of success and career aspirations. The essay requirements are a minimum of 250 words, typed in double-spaced, with your name and or family names nowhere in the essay. Essay must be original and written solely by the student without assistance of artificial intelligence. Additional information, including deadlines and submission instructions, is available from high school guidance counselor offices or contacting Bank on Buffalo directly. The Herschel Carousel Factory Museum is offering 2 levels of carving classes every Saturday in March. Beginning wood carving classes are $110 and are held from 9 a.m. to noon. No experience is required for this class. The fee includes instruction, a toolkit to keep, and materials for projects. The intermediate and advanced wood carving class is $95 and will be held from 1 to 4 p.m. Admission to this class is with instructor approval or completion of the beginner class. The town of Tonawanda offers van transportation service for senior citizens 60 years and older who reside in the town of Tonawanda or the village of Kenmore. To schedule a van, a 1-week notice is required. The cost is $3 in town and $6 out of town each way. You can call 716-875-1029 to schedule a van or for more information from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. The Erie County Stay Fit Dining Nutrition Program has resumed. The frozen meal program is still in place. One can participate in both programs if pre-registered. For more information, call the Senior Center at 716-874-3266. The Kenilworth Library Book Club will meet at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, March the 4th. The book Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, a Slave, by Frederick Douglass, will be discussed. Contact the branch for more information on how to get a copy of the book. At the Kenmore Branch Library, every Saturday, there is a board game Saturday. Take a break from devices and play good old-fashioned board games. Games are available for all ages. No registration is available. No times are given, but the library is open from 9:30 to 5. Crafter Day will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, March 7th at the Kenmore Branch for ages 5 to 12 for a monthly seasonally inspired craft project. Younger kids are welcome with caregiver assistance, and older kids if they're interested. Registration is required. If your child, ages 6 to 12, loves books, they can apply at the Kenmore Branch to become a kid librarian. As a librarian, they'll have a chance to create their very own book display, choosing a theme or random, with as much or as little help as needed from Jill, who's a grown-up librarian. Free tree for your family. Sign up your child by March 15th to receive a free native tree to plant at home. Registration can be completed online at www.neighborhoodforest.org/registration-services or call the library. Trees will be delivered to the Kenmore Library and can be picked up during their NatureCraft program from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 21st. All trees are provided by Neighborhood Forest. The Knit and Crochet Club meets from noon to 2 p.m. every Monday. No registration is required. Participants are requested to bring their own yarn and projects to the Kenmore branch. AARP Tax Aid will be available every Monday and Wednesday until April 15th. They will offer free tax preparation by appointment. No appointments will be held on President's Day. To schedule an appointment, call 211 and choose option 5. Also at the Kenmore Library, computer coaches are available on Tuesdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Wednesdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and 6 to 7:30 p.m. and Thursdays from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Coaches are available to help with your tech issues. It's recommended to call ahead to the Kenmore Library and confirm coach availability. A public notary volunteer is available from 6 to 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Walk-ins are welcome. The City of Tonawanda branch also has computer coaches available from noon to 2 p.m. every Wednesday until February 26th only. And at the Brighton Place Library, there's a knitting club open to knitters of all skill levels, with crocheters also welcome. Fridays from 10:30 to noon, beginners and experienced crafters alike are encouraged to attend. Also at Brighton Place, the Saturday Book Club, a monthly book discussion, will meet from 12:30 to 2 p.m. on Saturday, February 28th. This month's book is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 41 minutes after the hour. And looking now at the Lancaster Depew B. The Depew Hook and Ladder hosts 25th Annual Tool and More Raffle. It's getting set to hand out big prizes during its 25th Annual Tool and More Raffle, highlighted by a $2,500 grand prize in cash and a long list of gift cards to local and national favorites. The drawing will take place from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 7th, and revealed on Facebook Live via the Depew Hook and Ladder Company. Supporters can take a chance at prizes that range from home improvements and sporting goods to groceries, dining, and spirits. In addition to the top cash prize, the board includes gift cards for Home Depot, $250 and $125, Lowe's, same, Consumers, $200, Niagara Produce, $150, Wegmans, $150, Outlet Liquor, $150, also Ace Hardware, Target, Cabela's gets $500, Dick's Sporting Goods, $200, Neat Whiskey, $200, and Sloan Meat Market, $200. One lucky winner will also receive a $175 Russell's gift card that comes with a free overnight stay with some date restrictions. Raffle tickets are on sale now, 3 for $20 or 9 for $50, with payments accepted through Venmo at Depew Hooks. Venmo at Depew Hooks, apparently. Buyers are asked to write Tool Raffle in the Venmo description line, then comment on the Facebook post and send a direct message to confirm payment so organizers can reply with ticket numbers. Green Beer Sunday returns to the Tonawandas for the 11th year. A popular St. Patrick's Day tradition is set to return as Green Beer Sunday celebrates its 11th year in the Tonawandas. The family-oriented event will take place from noon to 4 p.m. on Sunday, March the 1st, offering an afternoon of Irish-themed music, food, and festivities. Sponsored by Tonawanda's Gateway Harbor, Dwyer's Irish Pub, and the Eldridge Club, the annual celebration officially ushers in the St. Patrick's Day season for the community. The event will kick off at noon with a short parade organized at Broad Street and Main Street in Tonawanda, proceeding down Main Street to Canal Street Pavilion. Live music by Three Parts Whiskey is scheduled to begin at 12:30 p.m., setting the tone for the afternoon's festivities. Admission to Green Beer Sunday is free, making it an accessible event for families and residents looking to celebrate Irish heritage and community spirit. Hochul announces partnership to promote free community college for injured workers. Governor Kathy Hochul recently announced a new partnership between the New York State Workers' Compensation Board and State University of New York and City University of New York, SUNY, systems aimed at helping injured workers return to the workforce through free community college programs. The collaboration will promote the SUNY and CUNY Reconnect programs, which provide free tuition, fees, books, and supplies for adults 25 to 55 who do not already hold a college degree and are pursuing an associate degree in a high-demand field. As part of the effort, the Workers' Compensation Board is sending more than 5,000 mailers to recently injured workers and has launched a new webpage, wcb.newyork.ny.gov/reconnect, to raise awareness. SUNY and CUNY Reconnect are life-changing programs that have already helped thousands of New Yorkers seize new opportunities to earn degrees in high-demand fields, Hochul said. I want to ensure that every eligible New Yorker is aware of the opportunities they have to earn a degree, secure a good job, and help move New York forward. The Workers' Compensation Board will work with SUNY and CUNY to identify eligible injured workers and connect them with the free college programs. The board's vocational rehabilitation counselors, who assist workers returning to employment after a work-related injury or illness, will help guide applicants through the process. SUNY's 30 community colleges include SUNY Erie, which has 3 campuses in Williamsville, Orchard Park, and Buffalo. Under Hochul's 2025 State of the State initiative, SUNY and CUNY Reconnect covers educational costs for associate degree programs in fields such as advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, engineering, technology, nursing and allied health, green and renewable energy, and teaching in shortage areas. Hochul announced plans to expand the programs as part of her 2026 State of the State address. As part of the proposed fiscal year 2027 state budget, Hochul is seeking a $12.5 million investment to expand eligibility to additional career pathways, including logistics, air traffic control, transportation, and emergency management. The proposal would also make it easier for adult learners with a prior degree to return to college to pursue nursing. The funding would build on a $47 million investment made in fiscal year 2026 to establish the scholarship program. The Workers' Compensation Board's vocational rehabilitation team offers free services to injured workers, including resume assistance, job search support, and coordination with employers for light or alternate duty work. The board also employs licensed clinical social workers to help injured workers manage challenges associated with work-related injuries or illnesses. The UB School of Management students are going to offer free tax preparation services. IRS-certified accounting students from the University at Buffalo School of Management will once again provide free tax preparation services to individuals and families with annual income of $69,000 or less. This service is especially valuable to low-income tax filers by helping them apply for earned income tax credits that can provide a needed boost in annual income. These tax credits can reduce or eliminate income taxes by refunding taxes already withheld from wages. Area residents and students are encouraged to take advantage of this tax preparation opportunity, which, by IRS estimates, can save taxpayers anywhere from $100 to $500 in preparation fees. Free tax preparation will be offered 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on a first-come, first-served basis only. Wait times may vary. South Campus, 100 Allen Hall, 3485 Main Street in Buffalo. February 28th, March 1st, 7th, 8th, 14th, 15th, 28th, and 29th, April 4th and 5th. To view a list of what to bring, maps, directions, and frequently asked questions, visit management.buffalo.edu/freetaxprep. The tax service is provided by the IRS-sponsored Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program with volunteers from the UB chapter of Beta Alpha Psi, an international honors organization for accounting and finance students, and the UB Accounting Association. The New York State Police reported Monday, February 10th, that an officer was struck by a passing motorist on the Thruway in Lancaster, sustaining an injury to her shoulder while assisting a disabled vehicle in the westbound lane of traffic. According to reports, a passing Kia sedan operated by Emily Elizabeth Lopez Rangel, age 22, of Batavia, spun out ending up facing eastbound and striking the rear of the parked patrol car. Reports indicate that the patrol vehicle's emergency lights were activated at the time of the incident. The patrol car was pushed into the officer, throwing her into the nearby snowbank. She was transported to Erie County Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries and later released. Lopez Rangel and her passenger were evaluated by first responders and later released, with Lopez Rangel showing no signs of drug or alcohol impairment. Officers deemed the cause of the crash to be unsafe driving for the conditions. Lopez Rangel was issued several citations for vehicle and traffic law violations. This is the second incident of a trooper being struck on the thruway in the past 2 weeks, read the official statement released by the New York State Troopers Police. The New York State Police is reminding drivers that the New York's move over law requires motorists to slow down, be alert, and move over when safely possible for all vehicles stopped along the road. In 2025, more than 2,500 tickets were issued for move over law. A few more things from the Kenton Bee. Meet new friends and have a little fun at the Tonawanda Senior Center at 291 Ensminger Road by signing up for a cornhole league with a team of 4 or by yourself. It's a free event that's held every Wednesday at 1 p.m. until April the 1st. Tickets can be purchased for $7 for a party to be held 1 p.m. on Wednesday, April 8th, which includes wraps, chips, and a drink. On March 17th at 7 p.m., the Tonawanda Kenmore History Museum will host a presentation in honor of Women's History Month. Cheryl McDonald will talk about Buffalo's First Ladies, Abigail Powers Fillmore and Frances Folsom Cleveland. She will present the women behind the 2 presidents that came from Buffalo. She'll focus on their role as First Lady, how they met their husbands, and the many firsts connected to their names. Wear your favorite hat and have fun. Enjoy lunch, which will include a salad with chicken and fruit, bread and butter, dessert and beverages. After lunch, listen to some music or sing along or dance to great songs from the past decades with music performed by Kathy and Steve from Matt's Music. Parade along and vote on the favorite hats. The events will be held at noon, Friday, March 27th, at the Tonawanda Senior Center at 291 Ensminger Road. Doors open at 11:30 a.m. Lunch will be served at 12:30 p.m. Music from 1 to 2 p.m. Tickets are $10 for members, $12 for non-members. Prizes will be given for the top 3 hats. And the Tonawanda Kenmore History Museum will host a presentation at 7 p.m. on April 21st at 100 Knoche Road. David Fay, Education Coordinator and Docent at Niagara Aerospace Museum, will continue the theme of Women's History Month and talk about Bell Aircraft's Rosie the Riveter. During World War II, while the men were away fighting, thousands of women were able to enter the world of men's work and thus contribute to the war effort. The Kenton Police Blotter. In the village of Kenmore on Friday, January 30th, a woman reported receiving threatening phone calls from her mother's boyfriend. The male was not on scene when the patrol arrived. The caller was advised to block the number and seek an order of protection through family court. A woman reported her children's father was refusing to release the children, and she believed he was intoxicated. Patrol assisted with the exchange and issued a complaint card. On Saturday, January 31st, a woman reported that a 40-year-old man, possibly intoxicated, attempted to cut himself with a box cutter. The man reportedly placed the box cutter in his pocket and was described as wearing gray sweatpants and no shirt. One male was detained and advised he was no longer welcome at the residence. A resident reported a large bump in the roadway, possibly caused by a water main break. Patrol observed a large bubble in the pavement with visible splitting. The Department of Public Works was notified and advised they would respond within the hour. A traffic cone was placed to mark the hazard. On Sunday, February 1st, a woman reported witnessing a black Range Rover strike a blue pickup truck on Nassau Avenue. The driver and passenger exited the Rover, inspected both vehicles, and then ran into an apartment building. Patrol spoke with the registered owner of the vehicles, who reported no visible new damage, but stated they'd notify the police if any was discovered later. On Monday, February 2nd, Buffalo Police Department reported locating a vehicle stolen out of Kenmore. Patrol was unable to contact the registered owner in person or by phone. BPD towed the vehicle, and the owner was later notified of its location. On Tuesday, February 3rd, a caller reported a man pulling on car doors on Keller Avenue. The man was riding a bicycle, carrying a large bag, and appeared to be struggling in the snow. Patrol checked the area, but was unable to locate the subject. School staff reported a juvenile left school grounds and was refusing to return, running through nearby driveways. The school later advised the juvenile had returned and no police assistance was needed. A caller reported a man standing in the street, waving a knife near a maroon pickup truck. Patrol determined the man was experiencing car trouble and was frustrated with that passing vehicles were not stopping. Patrol assisted and the man was sent on his way. On Wednesday, February 4th, a woman reported receiving multiple phone calls from her ex-boyfriend in violation of an active stay-away order of protection. Patrol determined the calls came from an unknown number. A report was filed for further investigation. On Thursday, February 5th, a caller reported a construction company on Military Road was blocking traffic and refusing to allow vehicles to pass. Patrol spoke with the company, and a dump truck was moved to a legally parked position in a driveway. A juvenile reported having half a day from school and being unable to access his home because his father wasn't there. Patrol contacted the father, who stated he was waiting at the bus stop. The juvenile was later picked up at KPD. Town of Tonawanda on Saturday, January 31st, a woman reported her identity had been stolen and her bank accounts accessed. She received a computer alert claiming her system was hacked and spoke with an unknown man who persuaded her to withdraw money and send it to him. Bank staff informed her it was a scam. No money was lost and she closed her accounts as a precaution. A report was taken. A man reported damage on Sunday, February 1st, to the front bumper of his vehicle. Initially, he believed the damage may have occurred after striking a snowbank while delivering food. He was issued a complaint card. He later reported discovering a wire under the hood that appeared to have been cut and stated that after hearing a loud noise overnight, he found his front bumper ripped off the following morning. On February 2nd, a man reported his Jeep Cherokee was stolen from a parking lot. The keys were reportedly left inside the vehicle. A police report was filed. Tuesday, February 3rd, a store clerk reported that a woman left the store without paying for a 12-pack of Twisted Tea and water. The suspect fled in an older green vehicle with no front license plate and an out-of-state rear plate. A police report was filed. A man flagged down a patrol to report a vehicle driving erratically near a roundabout. Patrol located the driver, who stated his hand slipped from the steering wheel while navigating the roundabout. She showed no signs of impairment and was released. On Wednesday, the 4th, a store clerk reported a man wearing a green shirt attempted to leave the store with unpaid merchandise. The items were recovered before he exited. The suspect fled on foot, and the manager indicated an intent to press charges. On February 5th, the motel clerk reported guests who were 2 days overdue for checkout and refusing to leave, causing issues for staff. The caller agreed to allow the guests until 2 p.m. to gather their belongings and vacate. The subjects were advised. Patrol responded to a report of 2 loose dogs on Cleveland Drive. One bit a mail carrier who declined EMS. The dogs were not believed to reside in the immediate area. Upon arrival, the patrol found the owner speaking with the mail carrier and in custody of 1 dog. A police report was filed. And on February 6th, a caller reported loud banging noises coming from a neighboring residence. Patrol was unable to make contact with the occupant. A complaint card was issued. A fast food employee reported an ongoing issue with a man sleeping inside the restaurant after previously being told to leave. Staff requested the subject be trespassed. Patrol advised the man not to return and informed him he would be charged if he did. He left without incident. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Dasha, and I want to apologize for not reading things in the order that they should have been. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our South Towns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B papers or Sons. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716-821-5555. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disease.